So I want you to take a moment to think about a person whom you are completely disgusted by. Matter of fact, you don't like anything about them. You think they are hideous inside and outside. You couldn't imagine yourself being with this person in a trillion years. But this person has decided that you are their person. And they love you so much, even though they know that you don't like them or love them, and you have told them numerous times that you do not wish to have a relationship with them, but they decide, no, you're my person, so I'm going to cast a love spell to entrap you into being my mate. Now I know that when somebody casts a love spell, they don't think of themselves as being a person who on the opposite end, right? Now, would you like a person to cast a love spell to entrap you into becoming a part of their life who you do not find interesting, that you do not find attractive, that you actually are disgusted by? Would you want that person to capture your heart or your interest? Now, I know there is nobody watching this video who is going to say that, oh, that's cool. Like, bring, you would not like this at all. But there are a lot of people who they are in love with someone, and the person doesn't love them back, or there's unrequited love. And they feel like, you know what, I'm going to cast a love spell and I'm going to bring this person back, or somebody they're in a relationship with, and the relationship ends for whatever reason, and they decide, you know what, no, this relationship is not going to end because I still love you, I still want to be with you, and I'm going to do everything within my power to bring you back to me. Now, I know a lot of people who practice magic disagree with this, and I'm not here to debate with anyone. As a matter of fact, my goal was to make a video about how to harness the magic of Tuesday, and God is like, no, this is the video that I want you to make. Now, I personally don't believe in love spells because I think it's a violation of a person's free will. It is something that I've always felt. As a matter of fact, people who, it's so funny, who have worked with me, I always say never use a name. If you should write the traits that you're looking for of the person, of the type of person you want to be with. I always warn people that when you make a list of what you're looking for in a mate, keep that, remember, never use a person's name. And I said, now once you start this, the relationship that you're in, it is either going to get better or you and that person are going to break up. So when I work with people who are looking for love, the first thing I do is I like to work in their love area. So if you walk into your room, guys, and you were to lie spread eagle in the middle of your floor, where the corner where your right foot resides, that is your love area. So I like to cleanse that area really well and do some spiritual work. And then I ask them to write a list of the qualities of the mate that they're looking for. But please do not write a person's name because this can cause all kind of problems. I've had several people violate that request. They found themselves in relationships where, I want to say loveless relationships, where the person was not attracted to them, where they weren't able to bear children, to there being a lot of aggression, verbally, physically. Guys, you don't understand that love is a gift from God. It is a gift from the divine of two beings, two spirits inside of a physical form who are agreeing to be vulnerable, open, honest, to use integrity in how they communicate with each other, That is the true gift of love. Love is not a willy-nilly thing. It is a divine gift where you have to be willing to do the work. You don't just get to go to somebody and have them put a spell on somebody and take a person's free will and think that it's going to work in your favor in the long run. So I want to be very clear. I have worked with people who violate this 1,000 times. I have never seen it work. And I'll say, well, what happened? One person, we made the list, and they made the list. I don't want to see what's on it. And I did my whole little ritual, and the next day this person left. And I was like, what happened? It was like, you told me not to use the person's name, but that's the person I want more than anybody in the world. I was like, I wouldn't do that if I were you, because anyway, I don't want to go into people's business in the streets or whatever. That's not professional. But I'm just going to tell you guys, when you are not willing to do the work, to work in a relationship where there's a mutual agreement to communicate and meet each other's needs, and that is not love. When you want to harness a person's energy and force them to be with you against their will. Do you understand what I'm saying? Like, there is no getting around this. Anybody who has ever worked with me would tell you that they usually end up breaking up, or they end up being in a relationship where there is no intimacy. They don't enjoy each other's company. I say, no, you want somebody who want you. This reminds me of the movie My Best Friend's Wedding with Julia Roberts, where she is chasing her male best friend who is chasing his fiance. So she calls up another one of her friends, and she's telling him, I'm looking for him, and he's running away from me because he's chasing his fiance. And his friend says to Julia Roberts' character, who's chasing you? Nobody. You're not the one. And I remember just how profound that moment was for her. I mean, I just love that moment. Who's chasing you? I feel like a lot of times people are just not attracted to the person who's actually chasing them. The people who are saying, look, hey, can we go out? Or, the ones who are interested or who's reaching out, they're not interested in. But the person who has shown no interest, that seems to be the person that is most appealing. So let me just dive into, guys, I feel so bad about this. About what I'm about to say, because I wouldn't say it like this. So the first thing that came to me, so I have a channeled message that I'm going to share with you, because I don't want to get in trouble, right? And I really, like I said, I want to give it straight. So the first thing that came to me, so there are billions of people in the world, but you have decided that instead of focusing on a relationship where there's a mutual interest, someone who is willing to reciprocate emotions, spend time with you, get to know you, you rather focus on this person who is not interested in you, and to harness this person's free will to establish some type of interaction with you. Okay, now what came to me is that, from my higher self, is that there is absolutely no such thing as a love spell. A love spell does not exist, because love, a spell is something you cast to harness your desires, right? Love, you can't buy love. You can't harness love. You can't make a person love you. You can't. What came to me is that love is the most, it's the purest, and most powerful energy in the universe, and that no one can ever make a person love them. You can't make a person love. You can't make a person what you're looking for. You can do a lust spell. You can only do a lust spell, which means that you can stimulate the second chakra, or the emotional, I think it's the emotional body in the aura, and you can cause a person to feel lust for you, or just feel lustful and want to have some type of physical interaction with you, but that is definitely not love. And so the first thing that came to me is the divine spirit is saying, look, make it clear that there is no such thing as a love spell, because you can't buy love, you can't harness love, you can't make someone love you, you can't force someone to love you. Love is the purest and highest vibrational energy in the universe. Love is so pure and divine. It is a gift. And when you really love something, you would never want to take away its free will. Matter of fact, love is unconditional. When you truly love a person, you want what is best for them. You want to see them happy. You want them to have to experience their own desires, their own choices. So basically, when you do a spell on somebody, you are saying that I don't care if this person is in love with somebody else. I want them for myself. So first and foremost, it says in the animal kingdom, my spirit was saying that sometimes animals, force other animals to submit, because this is a part of their biological design to procreate the species, but that is not love. But and they're operating from an instinctual biological design. There is no such thing as a love spell. The word love spell cancels out the meaning of love. You can't force a person to love you. You can manipulate energy of the emotional body and of the second chakra to feel arousal, but that's not the person who is going to want to bring you soup when you have a cold, or love you when you no longer look the way you look, or care about you as an older person. So when people are, one of the things that Divine Spirit was telling me this morning is to make it very clear to people that what you are doing is a lust spell. You are arousing what's the word I'm looking for? I'm trying to keep it clean. But you know what I'm saying. You are arousing this person in that kind of romantic type of way, but it's not to be mistaken for love. And then also, if you think you are binding a person, what you're doing is you can force a person to, like, I don't want to say force, but entrap a person in a way to be with you, but you can't force them to be attracted to you, to really care about your well-being. So this is all an illusion. So another thing that came to me is that to force someone to fall in love with you, it is never about the person that you think you love. It is about the spellcaster's view of the person as being an object or a thing to harness. It's about feeling entitled to a person's body, their energy, without their consent. This is not love. When you truly love another person, you respect their feelings, their choices, their desires. You want that person to be happy with or without you. Because when you truly love, true love is respect, and you cherish that person's freedom, and you cherish and respect that person's humanity. And so, as a matter of fact, my spirit said, when I say my spirit, my higher self said, a love spell is really spiritual slavery. when you try to harness, control, or entrap another person's free will. It is called spiritual slavery, and that there are extraordinary detrimental consequences for doing so. And as a matter of fact, I was like, I can't believe what came to me today. Is that, I really hate saying this, is that when you cast a love spell on a person to take away their free will, you are a predator and a monster. And that there will be, spiritual consequences for your actions. So, true love is a gift from the divine, where two people are willing to be vulnerable, to be open, and to be honest with each other. And that relationships where people talk about like power couples, or people who have real love, or people who are willing to risk. Like, you reach out to a person and say, hey dude, would you like to go for coffee? Or I'm interested in you, or I like you. And then it's like there's something, I don't want to say about, I know what God was telling me, is that true love is when two people, the God within each person, is recognizing their divinity. It's like recognizing the God in each other is what true love is. And it requires bravery and honesty and vulnerability. And a lot of people are trying to take shortcuts and not get, they fear rejection, or they fear this person not liking them back. It's almost like you rather steal something than pay for it. That's another word that kept coming up this morning, is that when people cast love spells, this is really, you're a thief. You're stealing something as opposed to buying it. And when you buying, you can't buy love. But what's coming to me, that the way you harness love is through vulnerability, through truth, through honesty, and through being open. You risk your heart. You don't care about your ego. If the person says no, then they say no. Maybe you can say, well, we'll just be friends, or let's do this, or maybe. But the point I'm making is, if you are too afraid to be vulnerable and open and honest, then you are not ready for love. You're not ready for true love. That's what came to me this morning. So if you're casting a spell, it means that you don't know what love is, and you're not ready for what true love is, and you don't have the qualities, the integrity, and the character to maintain an honest and loving relationship. So people who do love spells see their prey as out of their league and superior to them. They don't feel that they are good enough to attract this person by acting with honesty, asking for a date, reaching out, being kind. So they would much rather ask or have lower vibrational entities harness this person's energy than to align themselves with respect, integrity, and honesty that's required to have true love. So the more disconnected a person is from their intuition, their spiritual team, from being grounded emotionally, the more likely they are to manipulate, the more likely they are to cast love spells on other people. Okay. So now, another thing that came to me is that when people cast love spells, it has the same vibrational frequency as when people capture elephants for their ivory. It's not like they need to eat this animal for nourishment and survival. It's like for sport. Like when you're doing something for sport, and they don't care about the animal, the elephant that's being taken from his children, or the life itself. You just want the ivory. Or it's really an exploitation of it's seen as a spiritual exploitation of another person's divinity. So anyway, the other thing is, if you are, so anyway, I want to talk about this. So what I want to go over now are some of the traits or characteristics that you may have right now that put you at risk for being vulnerable to someone casting a love spell on you. Now, even though someone can cast a spell on you, it doesn't mean that the spell is going to take unless there's an opening. Now, some people believe that if the person has feelings for you, then and you cast a spell or whatever, then this person may show an interest in you. My understanding, and I don't know why I'm being, I don't want to say forced to put this message out, is that if you feel the need to use magic and spell work to entice a person to love you or to take away a person's free will, it means you really are not ready for love, and that you don't feel worthy of true love. So what you rather do is take something that doesn't belong to you. So anyway, I think I don't want to beat a dead horse. So here are some of the traits that make you vulnerable to being the victim of a lust spell. Because again, my spirit is saying there's no such thing as a love spell, because true love is divine, it's pure, it can't be bought, it can't be harnessed. It comes from that. It's the highest vibration in the universe. So if you are not grounded emotionally, let's say you are sad, or you whatever is going on with you emotionally, if you are not grounded, this makes you susceptible to being the victim of a love spell. Number 2, you are not in alignment with your divine purpose, don't know who you are and what you want out of life. I thought this was a really big thing that my spirit was saying this morning, is that when you are on your life purpose and you are doing what you're supposed to be doing with your life, it makes you the word I want to say unstoppable, but there's another word more powerful. When you are in alignment with your divine contract, your divine plan for your life, when you know who you are and what you want, there are very few things that can actually get in the way of you accomplishing your goals and your dreams. Because when you are in alignment with your purpose, it strengthens your aura. And so if there are any rips or tears, your spiritual team works with you closely when you are working to be your highest and best self. And so the way I can think of it is I love Harriet Tubman. So if you're Harriet Tubman and you're on the run, and matter of fact, she had epilepsy, and you're, out here saving lives and you're doing what you're supposed to be doing, your spiritual team is activated to the highest level possible. So, you're going to be protected from a lot of negative energies, from jealousies, from people. So when you are doing what you're supposed to be doing with your life, you are less likely to be a victim of a lust spell or any type of spell work, because you harness it's like having the wind behind your back, like the spiritual wind, the universe on your side. So you become very, very powerful when you are doing what you're supposed to be doing with your life. And only you can decide what that is, but you know, because doors open, the right people come in your life, you're protected, that type of thing. Number 3, you have just ended a long-term relationship and your heart is broken and you're still healing. When you are, so a lot of times when people leave relationships, this is kind of like, I don't want to say, it just makes sense that you would be vulnerable to a love spell, because your aura is probably has some rips and tears. You're not emotionally stable, so you're vulnerable to, you're probably looking for people to give you comfort, and you just, this is why during this stage it's best to just be around family and friends who really love you, to get the help you need, and be very, very careful of who you exchange energy with. Number 4, you don't have a connection to your intuition, your higher self, or your spiritual team. So basically, if you are a person who you have a hard time noticing red flags, and you intuitively you're kind of like, oh man, you notice, after 10 years, oh yeah, she was a gold digger, I saw that earlier, none of the kids are mine. I'm just joking, but basically, if you are not in alignment with the highest version of yourself, you're like, you are more likely to be a victim of a lust spell. Number 5, you are isolated from family and friends who keep you grounded. Like, there are people, the easiest people sometimes to manipulate are people who, they don't talk to their family, they don't talk to their friends. So people who know you, people who know the real you, who can say, girl, or dude, what's up, like, this doesn't sound good, or you're not yourself. And when people are around you who really love you and support you, you exchange energy with them through your aura, and you help keep each other grounded. So not only are these people in your ear, telling you like you're not yourself or something isn't right, but they may verbally talk to you, but even when you hug them, or even when you're in their energy, they are going to help you heal, help you grow, help you, I don't know how to, what was coming to me is like when animals come together in a pack. I'm thinking, what came to me was like a wolf pack. But when the people in your life who love you, who support you, who know you, are people who help shield you from being the victim of a lust spell. Not only do they point out like what the red flags are, but they notice changes and they give you suggestions, and they can help you. Number 6, you are suffering from low self-esteem. You are looking for validation from others to feel good about yourself. You don't believe that you are attractive. You have low self-worth. You're a people pleaser, and you're a people pleaser who have a hard time telling people no. So if you just like don't feel good about yourself, you have low self-esteem for whatever reason, maybe you don't feel good about your body, or maybe you don't, whatever the reasons are, low self-esteem makes you more susceptible to being the victim of a lust spell / love spell, because my divine spirit is like, there's no such thing as a love spell because love cannot be harnessed in that manner. But anyway, because so people can put their will on you because your aura is weak. And when your aura is weak, your self-esteem, your emotional body, your mental body, it's easier for seeds to be planted into your consciousness. 7, you are financially unstable. You have problems with your root chakra, which has to do with your stability, security, feeling like you're in alignment with your life purpose. You don't feel safe. Your basic needs aren't being met. You feel desperate for basic resources, or you are in between jobs. So basically, if you are a person who is like looking for other people to come and save you or take care of you or support you, or you think the world owes you something, you are more susceptible to a love spell and being manipulated, exploited, and dominated by other people. So one of the things you want to make sure that you do is any relationship that you're in, brother, make sure that you are self-sufficient, because this is going to your root chakra. It's so funny how it's responsible for your money, and for you, for your money, your security, your safety. With security and safety can be the same thing, but just know that if you are feeling like, oh my God, I'm going to go on this, I was thinking of my show I used to like. I can't think of the name of the show. Whatever. But people will go on dates just so somebody could pay for their meal. Or if you're looking to use somebody, or if you're looking to take advantage of somebody, that would make you very susceptible to somebody harnessing your emotional body, and you being susceptible to a lust spell. If you are lonely and desperate for human companionship, if you are desperate, like, it's okay to want to date and to want to be with somebody, but if you're like super desperate and you're just like, oh God, I just need to be with anybody, so you are very susceptible to a love spell, because your mental body, your emotional body, your etheric template body, your self-esteem, your spirit, like you are out of alignment with the highest and greatest version of yourself, and this makes it easier for other people to pretty much come in and so let's say to come in and offer you illusions and fantasies that are not true. So let's just say that you take care of yourself, you love yourself, and you feel good, and I guess you want companionship, but because you are desperate, you're able to see the red flags, and you have an idea of what you need from a mate, but you enjoy your own company. Like, you feel healthy and whole as an individual. This makes it people cannot put a love spell on you. When you are whole and in love with yourself, you have high self-esteem, you take care of yourself, is a no-go. 9, if you are cheating on your partner, this makes you extremely vulnerable to be the target of a lust spell. When you are out of alignment with being the best version of yourself, low vibrational entities and spirits are more likely to be attracted to you. So it's like your spiritual team are here to help you be the greatest and grandest version of yourself, to help you reach your goals, your aspirations, right? And when you are doing your best, like, not that we don't make mistakes, none of us are perfect, they're going to help you. But let's just say you are living a double life, or you're cheating on your partner. This makes you vulnerable to low vibrational entities and spirits, to love spells from whoever you're cheating with. It just makes sense, right? It's kind of like the way what came to my mind is, if you are living a life where you're involved in crime, doesn't it make you more at risk of having some type of criminal activity, being a victim of it, because you're in that you live that life. So when you are not being your highest and best self, then you attract those type of energies to yourself, and the type of people who want to do that to you. 10. If you have, what is this? If you have people around you who are jealous, envious, oh yes, right. If you have a lot of people around you who are jealous or envious of you or are morally corrupt, their energy weakens your aura, and this makes you susceptible to lust spells as well. So let's say you have a bunch of friends and they are all, I don't want to, judge people, but people who are jealous of you, people who are envious and nasty, make snide remarks and looking for every opportunity to put you down. And for some reason you feel like you deserve those type of friends or those type of people backstabbing people who want what you want. Or, guys, we all know that in this world, it's so interesting how, it's, I don't want to use the word challenging or difficult. I don't know the word that I'm looking for, but sometimes it's the people closest to you who are jealous of you, who don't want you to have certain things or to accomplish certain things, or they're happy for you, but they also want what you have. You know what I'm saying? So if you have people in your energy who are in your aura, man, you don't even understand how much they're weakening your aura and making you susceptible to all type of I want to say bad luck, bad energy. You know how people say that you are the people you hang around, like their energy is attached to you and so forth. So being around people who who do not wish you well is not makes you susceptible to a love spell or a lust spell. And the other thing, number 11, that makes you susceptible to a love spell is if you want to do a love spell on somebody else. You ignite the law of reciprocity. You may be doing a love spell to attract a person, but so basically it just makes sense. When you go in for a punch, it makes you open for a punch. So because you are willing to do this to someone else, of course somebody is going to be willing to do that to you. Your energy field is open to this type of behavior. So you cannot the other thing that my spirit was saying about love and lust, not love, there's no such thing as a love spell according to my divine spirit, only lust. And if you bind a person, you bind the lowest version of them. You would never ever harness the highest version of a person's divinity, because your soul is free. And what you get is like you might get a person who can be verbally, physically, abusive, honestly. Like what you harness is not their highest self. When you are in a relationship where there's true love, you nurture each other's highest self. Okay? So when you do a spell to attract a lust spell, to harness someone's energy, you cannot expect or ask for loyalty and trust from something that you have stolen. Many people who are in emotionally enslaved relationships, and this is the word my spirit said, these are emotionally enslaved relationships. There is lack of intimacy, joy, happiness, and adventure. You can sometimes, my own writing is so bad, a person to stay with you, but you can force a person to stay with you, but you can't force a person to be attracted to you, to love you, to nurture you, to care for you. They just may be there and they don't even understand themselves why they can't leave. So long story short, my spirit, I don't know why I'm being asked to send this message out, that love spells is spiritual slavery. It is exploitation. It is oppression. It is considered breaking the spiritual law of we are divine and free beings when you try to harness another person's free will to force them to be attracted to you, to be in love with you, to be with you. You are perceived as a predator and a monster to want to take something that doesn't belong to you, as opposed to doing the spiritual work of being vulnerable and reaching out to someone that you care about and developing a real relationship with them. The best love spells to do is self-love, working on yourself, being magnetic, being attractive, working on your best qualities, working on your gifts and talents, making yourself an interesting and intriguing person to get to know. When you are exuberant and with a happiness and a joy of living your life to the fullest and being the best person you can be and talking about what you learn and what you're doing, and you will attract somebody who is going to love you deeply and intensely for who you are, right? So when you work on you and becoming whole and becoming healthy to be the greatest and grandest version of yourself, there is no way you're not going to attract someone who's going to love and appreciate you for who you are. So one of the main things I do want you to take from this video is that there's a perspective. I'm not saying you have to agree with this. That if you feel the need to take away a person's free will, it's saying something about your personality. Why do you feel you need to take something as opposed to work for it? So let's just say you feel like, oh, this is the person that I'm really interested in. Have you asked them to go on a date? Have you called them? Have you reached out to them? Remember, true love entails integrity, honesty, and vulnerability. If those traits and qualities are not a part of the equation of how you are communicating and bringing a person's energy into your life, it is not love, guys. It is not love. According to, and I don't want to say according to my divine spirit, just common sense. Just think about, how is it love that you just harness my energy to encourage me to do what you want me to do? Why do you think that's love? That's not a love spell. That is a domination and oppression and exploitation spell. I really hope this message helps someone. Thank you so much for watching, and I look forward to seeing you, darlings, in the next video.